Today's hot topic is pricing. How much should you actually charge for your services? What makes sense? What will sell? Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what to charge. I'm going to tell you what I would charge if I was starting an agency, and I'm really excited. My name's Charlie. I've built and scaled 2 companies, a marketing agency to 7 figures and a coaching business to multi-7 figures. We are well on our way to 8 figures, which is really exciting. This channel is basically to document my journey and what I'm learning along the way, but more importantly, it's to help you guys make client acquisition easy. I believe that client acquisition should be easy for everyone that deserves it to be, and you probably do deserve that. So, without further ado, let's hop into my computer and discuss the wonderful world of pricing.
All right, wonderful world of price. So, first of all, we can draw a line here, and this line can denote 2 extremes, right? Here we've got high ticket and here we've got low ticket, right? So high ticket is, if we're talking in terms of we're talking in terms of monthly retainers, and we'll also talk in terms of one-time payments, right? So for me, a high ticket retainer is anything north of 2K a month, and a high ticket sort of course is going to be anything north of 4K. Now, if we're looking at low ticket on the lower end, obviously a low ticket, retainer is going to be, let's say, anything around $200 a month. Right, that's sort of where low ticket's going to sort of start. Anything below that is just there's no point unless it's a SaaS, right? But then if we look at low ticket from a course perspective, this could be something like $500. Now, this is subjective to my experience. People are going to disagree with this, and you might think that low ticket is less or more, but I don't really care, right? I don't care. But let's look at it from this perspective. First of all, right, you have to sort of base your price around a couple of things. V and P, right? So V is the value, right, that you actually provide. And P is the prospect and what they can actually afford. Now, funnily enough, it's very rare that you're limited by what the prospect can afford, right? Because I'm here to tell you that, if you're selling something that can truly solve a really painful problem for someone, they will find the money to buy it, right? If I came to you and you had no money right now, and I said to you, look, I'm going to sell you a lottery ticket, it's $100. I don't care, the lottery ticket is $3,000. But if you buy it, in 7 days, you can cash it in for $1 million in cash. And it's verified by the US government and, blah, blah, blah. That person will dance. They will find $3,000 to buy that thing. And it's no different to how you want to look at your offer and your service. If you're solving a problem that truly is painful enough, people will find the fucking money, even if you don't think they have it, right? So that's the first thing. The main thing here really is value, because it usually just comes down to you. And I'm going to sort of explain why in a second here. So, here's how I look at this, because people ask me all the time, Charlie, what do you think of my pricing? Charlie, how much do you think I should charge? Charlie, is this enough, or am I charging too much? It all comes down to you, right? So a pricing decision is a conversion decision, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you don't believe that the price you charge represents the value of what you charge, right? If you believe that the price exceeds the value, if there's a discrepancy, right, then you're not going to sell. And this is a really important lesson in critical thinking for anyone starting an agency. So everyone starts out and they think they're going to charge $1,000 a month in retainers, right? However, when you look at them, or when they look at themselves in the mirror, they have a shit service, they have no experience, they have no case studies, they have no confidence. And they go into sales calls petrified out of their mind because they think they need to charge $1,000 a month. If you want to scale an agency and grow an agency and really build something, you need to charge north of $1,000 a month. I'm telling you, you need to charge $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, whatever, right? $1,500 a month. You can only charge what you're comfortable selling. This is the key lesson in sales, is that people are only going to buy from you what they have confidence in, and what they have confidence in is directly related to what you have confidence in. So if you're selling a service and you're thinking, I don't know if I can deliver results or not, but you're then asking for $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, if you fundamentally believe that that is a rip-off and that you'll potentially even feel like you're scamming the person, you will never close. So I see people putting all this pressure on themselves, starting out with no experience. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't know. They hire some dodgy media buyer from bloody Bangladesh. Nothing against Bangladesh, but they hire a dodgy media buyer that has no idea what they're doing. And then the agency owner's like, yeah, so it's like $3,000 a month, if that's all right, maybe, perhaps, somehow. It's a huge problem. So when you're starting, there's nothing wrong with charging less or charging on a performance basis, right, with a small setup fee, because people will only ever buy what you have conviction in, and your conviction a lot of the time is going to come down to the price. And so the way that I like to price my stuff is I look at the value, right, and what it provides, and then I try to quantify that value in terms of what that actually would mean to someone in financial terms. And then off the back of that quantification, I'm then able to deduce a price. There's no specific like tangible framework you can use because it's always going to be case by case. But the main point of this video is to argue the point that you're not going to sell what you don't believe is worthwhile, right? And so if you're wondering yourself here, like, should I be here or should I be here? It's all going to come down to where you feel you should be, right? Because if you feel like you're worth this, then you kind of have no choice but to charge at this point. And I'm telling you, if you want to raise your prices, you have to raise your value first. So there's a lag between value and price. So if you want to charge more, right, you have to give more. But in order to give more, you need to first learn how to give that, give it, and then start charging more once you know that you're actually worthwhile. This is the thing about price. This is the thing that people just miss. Is like they isolate price and they don't look at value. You need to look at these things like a figure of 8. They are deeply interrelated, and there is some sort of business umbilical cord that connects these two things. And if you're on a sales call and you're asking for $2,000 a month, right, but fundamentally you don't believe it's worth that, nobody will buy from you, right, except from someone who might have a problem with their brain, right? And I'm telling you, you don't want clients with brain problems. They're not very good clients. But it's an important lesson. So if you're starting and you're new and you're wondering what you should charge, I can tell you that you know, if you're feeling all this pressure on sales calls and if you're feeling terrified and you feel like you can't deliver and you feel like, you know, like, oh, $2,000 a month is way too expensive. Like if you feel like your price is too expensive for what you're selling, then what do you think people you're trying to sell to are going to feel? Like sales is a transfer of emotion. That's what Jordan Belfort said for all of his wonderful virtue, right? Lack thereof, but it's true. If you're going into a sales call feeling this horrible sense of emotion and pressure because you feel like you're charging too much, then your prospects will pick that up and naturally feel like you're charging too much. So if you want to know what to charge, you have to look no further than what you believe you're worth. And what this means is that if you want to make more money, ultimately you have to become worth more while. Now there's an exception to this. If you're a Machiavellian, malevolent person that has no problem charging a lot of money for shit services, which a lot of people do in this day and age, then this video doesn't apply to you. But I'm making this video on the assumption that you've actually, you know, got some character and you're a good person. You want to make sure you're delivering proper value to businesses. And that's how it works. So like when I set prices for my services, I'm looking at the value and I'm asking myself, like, even if I'm charging this, does the value massively exceed the price? And if it does, that's where sales conviction comes from, and that's where conversions come from. And also, if you feel like you're adding way more value than you are charging in price, then you're way more motivated to do outreach, and you're way more motivated to book appointments and to be consistent with that. An example of this is these YouTube videos, right? So I've made 3 YouTube videos basically every week for the last like 18 months. And the reason I've been so consistent, obviously these videos act as a funnel towards my funnel, right? For transparency, I'm a business person. I'm trying to sell something, right? You know, behind all the, you know, crap, you know, me saying, oh, I'm on a mission to do this. Like ultimately, like I do want to help people, but also I make these videos to make money because it's what I do, right? For transparency, I'm not going to lie to you, right? But the point is that like I'm so consistent with these videos because I know that anyone that buys our product is going to find their experiences significantly better than what they thought it would be in spite of the price that we charge. And so like if you can, you know, get this value to price discrepancy where you've got way more value than price, then you're going to be way more consistent with all of your efforts to attract clients and make more money. So that's the answer. There's no definitive like set in stone price, because I could tell you the best price to charge is $2,000, but if you're not worth $2,000, you won't get clients. This is a key lesson in critical thinking. It's so contextualized, it's so dependent, and it's such a non-binary thing that, you know, like if you feel like you're worth $5,000 a month and you genuinely know that if someone works with you, $5,000 a month is a very fair price and a good price for them to pay, and you firmly believe that and you know it to be true and you really do deep down believe that, then you can charge $5,000 a month. Like I said, it's very, very rare for the market or the prospect to limit what you can charge. The thing that will limit what you can charge is the value you provide, because the less value, the less conviction. And conviction is the thing that determines sales and conversions. So just some food for thought. I wanted to sort of share this video with you because a lot of people struggle with thinking about price. And if you think about it in the right way, you'll recognize that if you want to charge more, you just have to increase your value. It's not about getting better at sales. So people think that when they start increasing their prices, they have to get better at sales. It's not. It's about increasing your conviction. Because if you increase your conviction, you naturally increase your conversions. And you can only increase your conviction by charging less than you feel like you're providing in value. All right? So that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.